One of those Republicans is freshman Representative James Lankford of Oklahoma. He joins us now. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, but I did vote for it today, to let you know.
You did vote for it. I
did.
I misspoke if I said otherwise, but that's what
right.
we meant. We meant that you voted for it. But how would you explain that vote to the Tea Party diehards who say, look, you should have voted against it?
Yeah, I love having that conversation. I have people in my district. I've been on the phone a lot with people. I'll be back home quick as I can get back home, back from here to be able to talk to people about it. We have set over the last 7 months a very unrealistic expectation of how much we can accomplish. And quite frankly, in Washington, we so seldom talk about spending cuts that finally, now that we're talking about it and that Republicans have the lead in the House, everybody's been saying, okay, this is the moment to get it all done. Everything we want to get done. Let's get balanced budget amendment done. Let's knock out $1 trillion worth of deficit. Let's knock down $14 trillion worth of debt. Let's get it all done in one fell swoop. And I've been trying to give people realistic expectations. Let's get going. But let's get as much as we can possibly get. And I am very grateful to get a solid vote on the balanced budget amendment this fall. I think that's a bigger deal than most people realize. A lot of conservatives have been trying to get that 15 years, and we just got that in place.
I used to editorialize about that in the Wall Street Journal 20 years ago. So, I mean, it's been a long time coming. But
I'm telling you,
when do we
a lot of
actually,
things we picked
Congressman, when do we actually talk about cutting the size of government? Not just cutting the increase in the size of government, but cutting government itself.
Let me tell you how hard this really is at this point. I had last week on the floor of the House a piece that's the Council on Environmental group that is out of the White House, and it's completely redundant with NOAA, with EPA, with Department of Energy. It's 2.7 million with an M is all it is, and it's completely redundant to other areas. I tried to get that killed, couldn't get that little piece killed, and it's completely redundant. It is very difficult to get out spending here because groups just gather around it and say, no, we need to keep that one, or we need to keep that one. And so taking on this joint committee that everyone's wondering what it's going to do, quite frankly, the Senate can't get anything passed. The last 2 years, what has the Senate passed? So if this gives us an opportunity to be able to deal with some of these hard issues and actually get it through the Senate, great. It'll just take 51 votes. But we've got to find a way to get through some of this tough stuff. And so this tries to form a way to get it done.
But focusing again, Congressman, on the issue of the ever-increasing size of government, just cutting back on the growth of government, we have a measure that was suggested by Louis Gohmert, who is from Texas, a new congressman from Texas. He was in favor of the zero baseline budget. He spoke about that on Fox News earlier. I'd like to get you to respond.
You bet.
The federal budget automatically goes up every year. It's the dirty little secret of Washington. And one of the things that the Speaker and Paul Ryan promised on Friday is we're going to get a vote in the House to go to a zero baseline budget instead of the automatic increases.
Well, is there a chance that we could ever get to a zero baseline budget?
You think we can get that past the Senate right now? I'm not sure that we can. I'd love to get it. We need to start the debate and the conversation. I'm on the Budget Committee. I tell you, that would be a major thing. There are several major issues. We want to get through the House, get it over the Senate, and if we have to keep doing it until we get a new Senate, let's keep doing it. Zero-based budget's one of those. Doing a budget every 2 years instead of every year is a big gain for us to be able to get a longer-term look and to do larger chunks of cutting. Those are two major shifts that we need to do. I'd like to have a requirement of the president. He can't submit a budget unless it is in a balance. That's a basic system, so the president has to make some hard decisions before he submits it to Congress. Right now, he just submits the biggest list he wants to possibly submit. But there are real changes in this piece, and I think we need to continue to press on that, even like the spending caps that we're talking about. This, for the first time, it's not just growing at the same rate of inflation. It's growing smaller than inflation. So this year, it's smaller than last year. Next year, it's only $4 billion larger than the year before, and every year after that, it grows at less than 2%, which is less than inflation. So that does help us start to catch up on it.
It begins. First of all, it doesn't satisfy me. It doesn't satisfy S&P and a lot of ratings agencies. However, I'm wondering if you would pledge, as part of the campaign for re-election, whether or not this is going to become a Republican issue, a zero baseline as part of your platform.
You know what? We've already talked about that in the Budget Committee, so I don't have to pledge. That's already in our conversation. So we're trying to push that along with many other reforms. This is a first step, and people are trying to process through how much can we get through with a Republican House and with a Democrat Senate and a Democrat president. We're going to push as hard as we possibly can and to keep pushing and to getting these ideas. And I'm sorry we can't get it all at once. I'd love to get it all at once, but this is what a messy representative republic really looks like when there's some people on the other side that are adamantly opposed, but we're going to push. We got no tax increases. We actually got a decrease for the very first time ever on a debt conversation about a debt ceiling. We got a dramatic decrease in spending. We have a balanced budget amendment coming to the House and the Senate within the next 6 months. We did have some major victories in this, and I know that some people want to see more. So would I. But we got some pretty big pieces out of this, and I'm glad we did.
Congressman James Lankford of Oklahoma. Great to see you, Congressman. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for all you and your viewers and what you're doing.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.